Yo, what is good, everybody? This is your boy Chad bringing y'all another video. In this video, before we even start this video, I shaved my face just because I wanted a new look. So this is me with a clean shaven face. You feel me? I'm probably gonna keep this for like a little bit, then I grow my beard back out. But I just want to switch it up, switch the flow up on it. But yeah, so this video we're gonna be talking about how Jen Psaki said during a press briefing that Biden and the team will be collaborating with Facebook and other social media platforms to dwell down on misinformation, right?
Well, first, we are in regular touch with these social media platforms, and those engagements typically happen through members of our senior staff, but also members of our COVID-19 team. Given, as Dr. Murthy conveyed, this is a big issue of misinformation, specifically on the pandemic. In terms of actions, Alex, that we have taken, or we're working to take, I should say, from the federal government, we've increased disinformation research and tracking within the Surgeon General's office. We're flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation. We're working with doctors and medical professionals to connect to connected medical experts who are popular with their audiences with accurate information and boost trusted content. So we're helping get trusted content out there.
And to me, it's like, okay, like I've been saying, if you were going to get the vaccine, it's now July. If you wanted the vaccine, you would have gotten the vaccine. If you don't want the vaccine, you don't have to get the vaccine. It's optional. This is up to you. If you want to talk to your healthcare professionals, that sort of thing. This is up to you, your doctors, and whoever you need to talk with about your health. You feel me? Biden said that he wanted it to be like, what, 60% vaccinated by now, and we're only at like 40-something percent. It's like they don't actually go with, well, people who already had COVID, they already had the antibodies to withstand, needing the COVID vaccine, right? So why would they go get the vaccine on top of already having the antibodies? Did they even think of that? Like, I've seen someone say, they post online, getting the vaccine is completely optional because it's up to you, yourself, if you want to be able to get the vaccine or you don't want the vaccine. It's up to you. It's an optional choice between you, your healthcare professional, yada, yada. And they got that post flagged and deleted because they say that. And it's like, are we not letting people think for themselves anymore? Like, it's crazy. We're living in a society now where everyone wants to think for themselves, say they identify as this, they can do this, they feel this way today, they feel this way tomorrow. But when it comes to thinking for yourself, when it comes to vaccines and stuff, you can no longer do that. So, when we have been talking about social media, well, I have on this channel, I used to talk about how like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, how they were censoring, conservatives, right-leaning people who would put out information and things like that, and they would say, oh, this is misinformation or fact-checked and that sort of thing. And Twitter, they banned Trump off Twitter. They banned them off Facebook. They banned them, from even using Spotify, Shopify, things like that. And we have been seeing since 2021 has started, different people who have, let's just say they put up something like the C19 vax does A, B, C, and D. And then they'll put up, oh, this is medical misinformation, or they'll take it down and say you're spreading destructive knowledge, yada, yada. And it's like, okay, now we see, the government working with Facebook and big tech, basically, well, just big tech in general, to crack down on misinformation. And my thing is like, what is considered misinformation? You feel me? Because what the government is basically saying is, we're the arbiters of truth, and what we say, if you don't line up with our narrative or what we're trying to do, then it's automatically misinformation. You feel me? And my thing is like, there have been people who have put up stuff that the government or whoever's the fact checkers have deemed is misinformation, and then it comes out a month or so later that what they said was actually correct. You feel me? And it's just like, how much reach are we going to allow the government to have? For me, it's like, okay, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, these are public platforms, right? This is the platform. This is like a public square. I explained this in one of my other videos, right? People like myself come to the public square to give their opinion or what they believe or the facts they have, right? It's up to all the other people in the public square to look at the information that's on the platform or in the public square, judge it for themselves, make their own adult decisions, and then determine, you know what, this seems like it's misleading me, or you know what, this seems like it's false. I'm gonna go on my computer, do my own research, and figure out what the truth is. Now we have the government basically with, okay, these are these people's opinions. Instead of us gaining our own knowledge, doing our own research to be able to find out what's misinformation or what's misleading, now they're saying, well, we're just going to shut down any opposing opinion that doesn't go with what we want. We don't want that outside thinking. We don't want people to use their brains, do their own research. We're just going to tell you what it is. And if we don't agree with it, we're going to take it down. And, Trump even came out with a lawsuit, suing big tech because he's basically like, they used to be a public platform where people could do what they want. People said they're private corporations, yada, yada. But he said in the lawsuit, like, they've moved past being a private corporation and things like that because they've started collabing with the government. So the government starts to have a, more control over these sort of, free and public areas. You feel me? Um, and now that Jen Psaki's come out and said, Biden and us, we're working with Facebook, we're working with the social media platforms to do this stuff. It's like, you guys are literally just proving Trump right. As I sit here and just think about 2021, when it comes to Trump, I don't agree with everything he does, but most stuff he does, he tries to put America first, make sure us, the people, we, the people, keep our rights and things like that. And it's like he fights for us even when we don't fight for this stuff ourselves. Like, people have been fighting for, freedom of speech so that way people don't get censored on these social media platforms because, like I said, they're censoring more so of like conservatives and right-leaning people way more than the left. They've started censoring the left now because the right, they've gotten rid of us all. Like, not gotten rid of us like we just don't exist, but like they've censored us, shadow banned us, made us to where we can't upload, we can't post any of that stuff for like 30 days or so. And now that we're gone, they only have their own they can really attack. So like I said, back to Trump, it's like he's been fighting for our rights even when he's not president, bro. He fought to go down to the border wall to show why it was so, out of control. He's not president. And he even, talked about going down to the border wall before Kamala. She heard that and then she rushed down to the border. Still nothing's been done about the border. It's still looking like it's out of control. But I guess since Kamala went, we no longer talk about it. You feel me? Now he's suing big tech, over there having too much control. And, the people have been saying this, like, they're censoring us, they're putting misinformation, they keep giving us strikes and warnings and guidelines on all social media, we're being shadow banned, that sort of thing. And now that Trump's, suing and the government's now coming out and saying basically like, yeah, Trump is right, we're basically doing all this stuff, it's like, this man is just constantly fighting for us. Like, when we feel like we the people have no voice, and Trump, he's like a powerful figure, you feel me? He has, if we gonna call it what it is, face card valid, you feel me? So we got the OG Trump going up there doing these lawsuits and stuff, and he's fighting for us. Like, he's fighting for us to be able to keep our freedoms of being able to speak up on these platforms and allow other people to see our opinions and make the decision for themselves. I wouldn't have a problem with the government stepping in and doing things like this, but it's like they start to take stuff that's like free, open, public access where people can think for themselves, do what they want, say what they want, and start to make it where it's like, instead of it being social media, it's like controlled media. You feel me? And it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, like how people can't see where this is going, because pretty soon if you disagree with anything they have to say, we're going to be like China. In China, if you say anything about the government, you know what I mean, you're going to either come up missing, you're going to have your stuff deleted, you're going to stop getting paid, that sort of thing. And that's kind of where we're headed, because it's like from here, okay, it starts off with, okay, you know, we want to be able to stop misinformation or very bad rhetoric or dangerous and destructive thoughts. And then it literally would turn into, we want to stop anyone who thinks this way. If you don't think this way, then we got to get rid of you, because you're no longer thinking with the crowd, you're no longer thinking with the movement, you're no longer with what we have going on. So that means that we need to get rid of you, so that way you don't exist at all. And they've been trying to do that slowly by, like I said, censoring, deleting, all that sort of stuff. But now it's like, bump it. We just gonna up here and do it. And as I'm looking at what Biden and their team is doing, it's like I can't see how people don't see that they're not for America. Everything they've promised, they've done the opposite. Everything they said they were gonna do, they haven't done. And then everything we asked them not to do, they're pushing that more than ever. You feel me? And it's just like, how long can this go on? Like I said, I feel like personally, people who voted Democrat, you guys voted for this. I'm sorry to say it. They say it's two birds to the same, two wings to the same bird. This isn't the same bird, because there are two sides fighting for two completely different things. One side's fighting for us to keep our rights. The other side's fighting to have them taken away. And this just really just goes against, like, really the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Because if we can no longer say what we want on these public platforms, like, first off, Twitter isn't responsible for what you say on Twitter. With how I know Twitter's not responsible for what you say on Twitter? Cancel culture. If I go up on Twitter and say some outlandish, crazy stuff, right? I get canceled. They don't cancel Twitter, the platform. If I say something crazy on Facebook, they cancel me on Facebook. They don't cancel Facebook. So for the government to come in and be like, okay, we're going to work with Facebook and Twitter to be able to cut down on these rhetorics and this misinformation, whatever, it's like, now it's turned into, they're basically framing it as in Twitter and Facebook are responsible for people accepting these ideas and behaviors, and it's like, it's never been that way. So now y'all are making it something that it's never been. You feel me? And so it's like, if Twitter and Facebook were never responsible for what I put on the platform, cancel culture can cancel me, then that already right there in itself, like, if we're gonna keep it a buck, that already right there in itself has proven the fact that people can think for themselves, come up with their own conclusions and reasoning, and deem what is destructive, what is not, like, beneficial towards everyone, and what should be canceled, deleted, censored. And you don't even have to cancel, delete, and censor. You can just not interact with that person. If I'm up here saying, this isn't real, that isn't real, and people are like, you know what? Chad's kind of lost his marbles. We're going to stop following him. We're going to stop listening to him. We're just going to ignore him. That's how you stop misinformation, because you'll have someone just blabbing on to themselves. No one's listening. And I keep seeing quotes like, you cut out a man's tongue, you're not, stopping him from, you're not afraid of, what he's saying, you're afraid of what he's going to say. And to me, it's like, if the government's going this hard to try to prove misinformation, try to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it's like, okay, if I tell you guys the sky is blue, right? And let's say we're just outside in the street. We're going to call the street Facebook, Twitter, social media platforms. That's the public square. We're all outside standing on the street. One person says the sky is green. One person says the sky is blue. The other person says the sky is red, right? There are people around us who look and they say, okay, we heard everybody's opinions. Let's look up in the sky. All of them see the sky is blue. Right then and there, and they can say, you know what? The sky is blue, so the person who said the sky is blue is right. What the government's basically doing is saying, you know what? We want the sky to be green. So anyone who says that the sky is not green, we're going to call that misinformation, and we're going to make sure we take out those destructive ideas. So now when everybody's saying sky is red, sky is blue, sky is green, people are like, okay, we see that the sky is blue. The government's now coming in and saying, no. Anyone who says the sky is not green, that's misinformation. Don't listen to them. They're going to put the little tag at the bottom, misinformation. This isn't true. This isn't. And it's just like, we don't need that. No one asked for that. No one asked for you to work with Facebook and Twitter. And to me, it's also like Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, they're all sellouts. They're all sellouts. Why would you sell your social media platform of free thinking? Why would you allow yourself to collaborate with the government? That's like if Apple and Google and stuff decided to break their privacy policy and just sell all of our privacy data to the government. So anytime you needed to try to get into an iPhone and it was locked, they'd just be like, well, the government owns us too, so they're automatically in, and then, you know, people would go to jail, that sort of thing. It's like, when is privacy really gonna matter? Like, we don't even have privacy anymore, you feel me? But yeah, man, I just thought this was crazy. I just really wanted to drop this video just because it's been on my mind for a little bit. So if you want to see where Jen Psaki was talking about this, I'll leave it down in the description. But if you have any comments, you know, you could leave them in the comments below. And as always, man, this has been your boy Chad, and I'm out. Peace.